Monologues are a lot like credit. It's easier to come by when you don't need it. What if finding the perfect monologue means building it? Here, I got a secret for you. Did you know that you could create a monologue from scenes in a play that will give you more dynamic auditions? Yes, you can. I'm Edmund Allen Jones, aka Eddie with a Y, and this is Mental Downloadables, the Frankenstein Method, here on the Verb Gym. Okay, now, the Frankenstein Method, what is this exactly? And yes, I know I missed an opportunity to release this during Halloween, but c'est la vie. Here's what you do. You find a juicy scene in a play. You cut out the other person's lines, turn it into a continuous monologue, and you make sure you choose a moment in the scene where there is a clear transformation. Now, why are we doing this? Well, see, audition monologues need to be miniature plays that work by themselves outside of the context of the play. And a lot of the monologues that you've probably done in the past, you've extracted wholesale from a play, and it doesn't quite work because playwrights use monologues for various reasons. It might be for exposition, to give you the backstory of a character, or because we don't have the luxury of showing everything like we do in film. A lot of times we use monologues to paint the picture of what happened. Now, when you get your monologue from a scene, it becomes much more dynamic, and it's a good source for your character really trying to find something out. What we're looking for in this scene that we're going to turn into a monologue is the character having this beginning state. Maybe they're fighting with their scene partner. And then the second thing is that the character has a realization in the scene, and this will be a climax of your audition piece. And then finally, the character should end the monologue in a different state than when they started, energetically. So instead of fighting, they might be soothing. So for example, this could look like a scene where a guy is fighting with his girlfriend because she stood him up or something. But then he finds out in the middle of the scene that the reason she didn't show up is because she had morning sickness. She was pregnant with his child. Now, all of a sudden, he's soothing her at the end of the scene. So we've got a transformation for this character. He starts out fighting, has a realization, aka the climax, and now he's soothing. This is a miniature play. This tells a story. And you can extract this kind of monologue from a scene by simply getting rid of the other character's lines. Now, this is more dynamic, and you should be able to look for scenes where the character is really trying to get something from the other person in the scene. That'll also make it more dynamic. So by extracting the lines from a scene and piecing it together, you're showing this character going through a transformation, and that makes for a really good audition, right? So you come in, you're telling this little story right in front of the auditors, and you're doing a lot of things like this. Because the only way a traditional monologue really works is if the people you're auditioning for know the play. And here's the thing, if they know the play 9 times out of 10, other people have done the same monologue from the same play, and so it gets very repetitive for them. So by you extracting your monologue from a scene, that kind of gives you a bit of a competitive advantage. So again, what do? We're going to find a good scene where the character goes through a transformation. We're going to extract the lines and turn them into a continuous monologue. And remember, you got to think like a playwright, a director, and an editor. So as a playwright, you're looking, okay, where am I telling the best story in these scenes? And as a director, you're like, okay, how can I craft this performance so I start in one place and I end in another place within 90 seconds? Then as an editor, you're looking for the scene that has all these qualifications. Now, big caveat. Hugely important, we are not changing the words of the playwright. We are not changing the order of the words in the playwright. We are simply extracting the lines from a scene and treating it as a monologue. So I wanted to be clear about that. Now this process can be a bit more involved than I spelled out here. If you want to know more about it, reach out to me at theverbgym.com, offbooked.com. Got a lot of ways on the social medias, but let me know what you think. There's some links to some other articles around this topic that'll be in the description. Hope this is helpful. I'm Edmund Allen Jones, aka Eddie with a Y. Deuces.